Discussion about the requirement that all counsel call any individual by their surname, not by their first name. And I think Ms. McLyman asked if that was just a rule in this courtroom. Actually, it's pursuant to the Hillsborough County Standards of Professional Courtesy, and under subsection M that governs trial conduct and courtroom decorum, subparagraph 8 is, quote, counsel should refer to all adult persons, including witnesses, other counsel, and the parties by their surnames and not by their first or given names. Okay, so Mr. McLyman, I believe you practice in Miami, is that correct? Okay, yes. I would just ask all counsel, and it's a good refresher for me too, to review the standards of professional courtesy, particularly paragraph M, which governs a lot of conduct as it occurs during the course of the trial, okay? The next thing I want to discuss, it was brought to my attention, I don't know if it's accurate or not, that Fox 13 is going to be airing an interview with defense counsel today. Is that accurate?
I don't know what Fox 13 is doing. If you're asking whether we did an interview with them this week, yesterday, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what interview they would be airing today. If it's not the same one they continuously air.
Okay.
That was the doggone interview that we had already seen, that we had played on Monday. So it got released, but not like how they're saying. The defense is really mad because these fools, the prosecution is mad because these dummies to put a picture up playing Young and Ace. That's really what's wrong with it, but roll it.
And you were interviewed by a reporter at Fox 13 at some point?
Yes.
Okay, how long ago was that? Okay, so we picked our jury Monday, so we're in relation to Monday. The week before trial.
Correct.
Okay, did they tell you that they were going to air it during the trial?
They didn't say when they would, but they said if they did, they would probably air it that Friday, so that would be the same week before trial.
Okay, so I don't know if it's airing tonight. I have no idea what's going on. I just heard that anecdotally. So if Fox 13 does air the interview of defense counsel at any point during the trial,
I can tell you, if it's Fox 13, whatever they would be airing today, I've already seen that. And I have to know what you were referring to yesterday.
It was, Judge, because it definitely went into the evidence. That's the case.
So you've seen it?
I did not see it. My legal assistant saw it and replayed it to me and told me the substance of it.
okay. All right, well, I'm just raising the issue. No one's filed a motion or requested any relief, so at this point, I'm just asking the question, okay? Okay.
Judge is basically trying to make sure that they don't taint the dog on jury because, let's just be honest, we believe, us being human beings, that, man, jurors gonna mess around and who's that peeping through the window? Yeah, jurors believe that that's what's going on. That we gonna go ahead and deep dive. So the judge basically say, hold up, come on.
Go.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Yeah.
Actually, there are a few things that Chris would like to address.
Sure.
First, Your Honor, regarding Ms. Andrews when she enters the courtroom, we just asked that the media not report her. She's kind of preparing,
Sure.
To get started.
Okay.
It's a little dehumanizing.
Yes.
It's
fine.
That way. Second, Your Honor, there was a motion. We filed a motion. I would say last night. It was more like early this morning, maybe like 1 or 2 this morning, related to exhibits that we expect the state to attempt to introduce today. We have objections to them, so I don't know.
Listen, I'm not going to do that right now.
I was going to say, I believe the witness that it relates to is probably in the afternoon, based on what they said. So we'll
Okay.
do it later, but I just wanted to bring this to court's attention.
Okay, do you have a copy for me?
I attempted, but I really want.
Okay.
I didn't get it, but
All right.
Judge, we do have 2 witnesses that do not want to be aired, and that's Audra Aguamante and Sathon Wadakarame. I know I didn't say that right.
When are you calling them?
They're both scheduled for today. Ms. Aguamante is first this morning.
Okay, very good. So again, I would just ask the media, don't broadcast the identities, including the names of these 2 witnesses due to the specific facts of this case.
Judge, if I can make an order to this motion at this point, because this is kind of getting out of control. We're aware of all kinds of interviews that counsel has given now to podcasts, and now you're telling me about this Fox 13 thing, which I didn't even know about that.
Well, again, I don't know if it's accurate. I
No,
just
that's
heard
fine.
through the grapevine that it was going to air today.
Counsel's representations to the court this morning, I would ask for a gag order on all parties as far as any interviews with the media going forward until this trial is over.
Okay, do you object to that?
Yes, Your Honor. Not that we necessarily intend to do any other interviews, but I recall at the beginning of this case, their possible supervisor doing a very extended interview in the news with evidence and names.
I know, but they're saying from this moment forward, no more. You object to that?
Your Honor, we don't necessarily intend to, but again, this is.
Okay, so are you telling me you object to it?
Yes.
Okay.
We would object to it.
So-
We haven't heard one juror say that they have seen any of these. Unfortunately, we can't control it. It's already been released for how they intend to re-release it. We don't believe that we've said anything in the media that is inappropriate or, would do anything.
So here's the deal. I'm just going to tell you, I don't know the answer because honestly, I've been on the bench for 23 years. Okay, I've tried over 200 jury trials. I've never, in a high-profile case in particular, had defense counsel do interviews about the case so close to jury selection. I'm not saying it's wrong. I honestly don't know. I've never confronted it before. So I do think it's potentially problematic for interviews from either the state or the defense. I mean, are you telling me if Ms. Lopez went on the news tonight and talked about how guilty your client was and all the evidence that was arrayed against her, you would be fine with that? You'd have no problem?
It would depend on what you're saying.
Okay, but the problem is, if she gives the interview, the damage is done, right? Once it airs, the damage is done.
Again, Your Honor, like I said, we don't intend to do any interviews at this point. We can't control, how the media are released. No whether we can control what is released that's recorded in this courtroom.
Okay.
It's out of our control.
So at this point, I'm going to temporarily grant the state's worried tennis motion. I'm going to do some more research on this just because I've never had the issue arise ever in 23 years. And then, but for the time being, no one's going to be talking to the media about this case. Okay, we're in the middle of trial.
Your Honor, we, obviously reserve the right to respond appropriately with any support.
Sure. Absolutely.
Judge, if I can put on the record, I was just showing a text from one of our legal assistants who watched the news this morning. Apparently, when Fox 13 was reporting the opening statements yesterday, that they would start yesterday morning, they then went to an interview with Mr. Malcolm and Mr. McClymont talking about what evidence the state doesn't have and what they would prove. She indicates in this text message, which apparently was sent to Ms. Doherty, I don't know when they gave the interviewer statement, but it was shown yesterday morning. And then counsel was saying they will prove I'm assuming the defendant came to Tampa unaware of what was happening. So anyway, I just wanted to put that on the record.
Okay. Well, like I said, at this point, I'm going to temporarily grant the state's order tennis motion as far as gag order on both the state of Florida and the defense counsel. No one's to be talking about this case any further in the media. And I know we've said this before, and I just want to make sure, and I'm going to do an order to this effect just to make sure, the names and identities of the jurors are not to be disclosed to anybody outside of this courtroom. Nobody.
Well,
Okay?
the defense is certainly not disclosed it, however, we are aware of it.
I understand. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page regarding the identity of the jurors. So, okay. Anything else before we get going?
No, Your Honor, we did send everyone yesterday because we thought some of these witnesses were shorter and we might get to go through more, so we added some. So I sent that to all parties yesterday, I think a little bit after 6.
Okay, it's 9:13. Let's go. All right, bring in our jury.
And I ain't gonna lie, I get what the judge is saying. I know people will be like, oh, yeah. No, I get it, because at the same time, you don't want to poison the jury. But also, if that's the case, then let's be fair, right? Why wouldn't we just have certain things not leak out to the media? Why wouldn't we? Because we already seen the footage of the shooting. We already seen so much stuff. The jury is already tainted. So if it was really about, quote unquote, justice and the sovereignty of the courts, then we would never know this stuff. You want to know how you know? Remember when Street got killed? Remember when Scooter got killed? All y'all were asking, what about the body cam footage? What about the body cam footage? Well, lo and behold, the body cam footage is actually evidence. So they can decide whether to or whether not to release the whole entire footage. I'm not going to play a bunch of freaking clips. We'll probably just play one to surmise everything. But I'll let y'all know what all the testimonies were about, because this trial is not about her. It's about Julio Foolio being killed and how he died. And they're basically tainting the jury for April. They're going to make sure that they get a flawless victory. This is what you call a test run, in my opinion. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Rick Conway,
With what agency are you employed?
currently employed with Tampa Police Department.
And how long have you been with Tampa Police Department?
This will be my 4th year with Tampa Police Department.
Do you have any prior law enforcement experience?
Before Tampa, I was employed with New Orleans Police Department as an officer.
How long were you there?
About 5 years.
And in your experience here in Tampa, what is your job title?
My job title is a patrol officer.
Did your duties include responding to the area of 3751 East Fowler on June 23rd of 2024?
Yes, I responded to that call.
And about what time was that?
I believe the time came out about 4:45, 4:45
Oh, I apologize.
in the morning, a.m.
Were there other officers already present on scene?
I believe Sergeant Portman arrived on scene first. I was maybe the second or third beforehand.
Why is it that you arrived to that area? Did you receive a call for service directly?
We received a call for service. I believe the original call notes were cars speeding through the parking lot and gunshots had been heard. And as we made our way to the scene, we were informed that somebody was shot at the location.
Upon arrival to the parking lot of that Holiday Inn, what are some of the observations you actually make?
The first observation I made, we located a black Dodge Charger stopped in the parking lot, kind of in between the home suites and the Holiday Inn situated on that lot. Car was stopped, immediately noticed that it had been covered in bullet holes, and there was someone deceased in the front seat.
Do you, Sergeant Portman, or the other officers that are there kind of divide up responsibilities in that moment?
In that moment, we were initially focused on trying to preserve the crime scene. There were some other people there that had been with the victim prior to. But initially, I had gone to go get crime scene tape to try to cordon off the scene. And at that point, we started to divvy up our responsibilities further from that point.
Do you receive a call that you're needed inside of the Holiday Inn itself?
We never received a phone call. While I was still on scene, I observed a blood trail leading from the Dodge Charger leading towards the front door of the hotel. I told the other officers, myself and 3 others went to the front door, and as we approached the front door, we were told by the manager inside the hotel that there were 2 people bleeding on the 3rd floor.
When you say you were looking around and saw that, I'm going to show you what's been previously admitted as State's Exhibit 3M from the exterior of that Holiday Inn there. Is this what you're referencing when you say there were some blood trails leading into the hotel itself?
Yes, that's the main entrance to the hotel right there at the top of the photograph. And back here, it's a sidewalk, and the blood trail actually extended much further back on that sidewalk leading towards the parking lot.
Wasn't sure if I'd be able to get it there. Okay, if I back that up a little bit in 3L, is that what you're referencing in the walk up to that evidence marker number 6?
Yes, ma'am.
At that time, did you actually have any specific information about who your suspects were, who your victims were? Was there even time to obtain that information yet?
We had already known of the victim, Mr. Jones. Prior to the beginning of that shift, we had received some intelligence that he was visiting in town from Jacksonville, and that he had some past arguments with people in the neighborhood, and we were just told just to keep an eye out for him and his movements.
Meaning like an inter-office kind of teletype, where agencies will exchange information back and forth?
Not so much a teletype, it was just an email from our intelligence division. I'm not exactly sure how they obtained that information, but we were just told that he was staying at an Airbnb located somewhere out in the county, and that he was more than likely going to be in Tampa for his, I believe he was there for his birthday.
Was that relayed to you during your brief before your shift actually started?
Yes, we went over that in our briefing.
Okay, so you're telling us about that because when you got there and made these observations, you related those two things, what the information you learned from your briefing to what you observed on scene.
Right. We didn't officially identify him on scene, at least while I was there, but it was generally understood that this was Mr. Jones that was deceased in the vehicle.
Was that in part because there were also some other lay witnesses on scene at that Holiday Inn?
Correct.
Now, unless I was born yesterday, that cop just basically said, hey, bro, we knew he was coming in town. We knew he had ops. We just was told to be on the lookout. So at that instance, bro, like, when does it become, I don't know, beneficial to the public that you should probably keep an eye out on, buddy? I can dang near guarantee you, had they met a presence felt, meaning the police, I don't think Julio Foolio would be dead in Tampa today. I'm not saying that these cats wasn't going to eventually catch up to him. Hell if I know. I would hope that they wouldn't. But, bruh, y'all was told this. And y'all decided to do nothing. To me, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. When you guys, meaning the police, ride with the protect and serve on the side of their cars, is that really what's going on here? Because I'm fairly certain what they just shared with us yesterday when they said, yo, little buddy then got shot at, got a bullet in his foot, and his homies went and smoked somebody else. After that, you wouldn't care to think to yourself, damn, this might be serious. If it was, I don't even want to make them type of assumptions. I really don't. This just right here just goes to show y'all a lot of this stuff that happens, they don't mind it happening. Now, ultimately, it always falls on the individuals who did this. It always falls on the people who did this. But I'm going to be fair, square, obvious, and honest. This is one of the ones where you got to sit back and go, yeah, officer, you probably should have picked up on that one, because we find out later on other people got hit that were innocent. Let's go.
And when we speak, let's go back just to the entrance of the Holiday Inn, and we'll talk a little bit more about the other stuff, okay? At the entrance of the Holiday Inn, you spot the blood trail, and what is your role with the other officers as you enter and speak to the hotel manager?
Again, we spoke to the hotel manager. He told us that he had two men up on the third floor of the hotel that were bleeding. We essentially just followed the blood trail. It went initially down the first hallway in the hotel, leading to the east, maybe a couple floors, and it doubled back to the elevator. And we just followed the blood trail to the elevator, and we took it straight to the third floor.
Okay, let me show you 4A, if I can break that down just a little bit here with evidence marker 8. Can you see that all right?
Yes.
Is this what you're talking about as you enter that lobby in the Holiday Inn lobby area?
Yes, correct. That hallway up at the very top, that leads to the elevators on the right-hand side, and the blood trail actually continues a little bit further past the elevators, and then it comes back and goes towards the elevators themselves.
Though you have a general idea from the manager about where additional people may be, is there still a process that you have to go through to ensure that you get there safely?
Yes. Generally, you are supposed to go floor by floor, using the staircases to clear out the building floor by floor, just to make sure that there's no other additional shooters in the building. Just due to the fact that we had people that were bleeding out that had been shot, we kind of skipped that process and went straight to the victims at that point.
And beyond the elevator there, was there still a blood trail that led you to a more direct location for where they were?
It wasn't so much the blood trail. As soon as we exited the elevator and turned to the right, our other two victims, Mr. Norris and Mr. Edwards, were sitting there right in the T-junction of the hallway with the elevator.
I'm going to show you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit number 91. Do you recognize that?
Yes, that would be, I believe, Mr. Norris on the left and Mr. Edwards on the right.
Now, is this image a screen capture from the body-worn cameras that you all are equipped with?
Yes.
Hey, yo, you. Can you subscribe and turn on that bell, too? Because when you do, you're helping unbiased, independent news.
Does this screen capture fairly and accurately depict what you observed when you all exited that elevator and made contact with Mr. Norris and Mr. Edwards?
That's correct.
Your Honor, State moves to admit States 91 and publish.
Any objection?
No,
Okay, admitted.
Now, I know that you made some reference while I was there showing you the exhibit, but can you please, if you would, point out Mr. Norris?
Yes, Mr. Norris is going to be the gentleman on the left in the white shirt, and Mr. Edwards is going to be wearing all black on the right-hand side in the hoodie.
As you made contact with Mr. Norris and Mr. Edwards, were you able to make any visual observations of injuries?
Obviously, Mr. Norris had the gunshot wound to his right shoulder. Just due to the hoodie, I could at least tell that Mr. Edwards was bleeding pretty heavily from his right arm or right shoulder. I just couldn't tell just how far up the injuries went at the time.
Did you do anything to assist?
Yes, I applied a tourniquet to Mr. Edwards' right arm about as far as I could go.
Did the other officers that you were there with help you to secure both of these individuals?
Yes, I believe it was myself, Officer Hadsell, Officer Gale, and Officer King were the ones that made entry into the hotel. Officer Gale stood by with Mr. Norris while I stood by with Mr. Edwards, while Officer Hadsell and Officer King cleared the rest of the hotel.
At that point, you're still at least attempting for whatever life-saving measures that you're able to give to both.
Correct.
Was Mr. Norris conscious with you and answering your questions as it related to what happened or where his injuries were, et cetera?
Yes, Mr. Norris remained conscious for pretty much the entire time that we were in the hotel. Correct.
While you were standing there with them, I presume waiting for EMS or something, did you...
That's the part where the internet is going off saying that she was laughing while this stuff is going. And I ain't gonna hold you. I get it. I understand. I overstand, to be fair. But more than likely, the damn lawyer has horrible timing. And this is what the judge was referring to in the beginning, talking about decorum. Better yet, lack thereof. So when y'all see things like this, I ain't gonna hold you. You probably like, wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the viral clip that's going around. Like she's yelling, looking at how the ops got spun on and all this and everything. I didn't take that away from that, but if you do, then yeah. But I would also caution them damn lawyers, bruh. Right now ain't the damn time. I I've never served on the jury, but if I was to ever serve on a jury board, I would be looking between the witness and the person that's being accused of stuff. If what they say resonates in some type of way, I'm going to pay attention to that. So there's that. Now, granted, the decorum does say that, if somebody is saying something you disagree, you can't be like, and then when your lawyer get on the freaking stand and they start crossing all these individuals, you can't be like, you know what I mean? They do say you can't do that, but even then, a smile like that, I think she might not all the way fully understood or understand what the hell is going on. Just gonna be fair. Like this, she don't reek of somebody who knows what the hell is going on. What do y'all think so far? Let's finish this out and then I'm gonna give you guys the end of it because this was an 8-hour stream that I'm gonna be fair. That was all the fireworks that you gonna get.
See more specifically the injury that Mr. Norris had suffered.
The one that Mr. Norris suffered, I believe it was to the front of his right shoulder. I couldn't tell if there was any exit wound though, but he had definitely taken one gunshot wound to the front of the right shoulder.
As you were tending to Mr. Edwards, did it ever become more apparent where his injuries were? Could you see more?
At least from the presence of blood, that right sleeve of his was fairly soaked in it. It did seem pretty clear that he was hit up on the right shoulder a little bit, and my tourniquet just wasn't doing a whole lot with stopping the blood flow.
Even though you're providing or rendering aid at this time, are you still inquiring of them as to what happened? Correct.
I'm still asking questions. Who did this? What happened? At least at the time, I'm unsure as to what Mr. Norris was telling Officer Gale, but Mr. Edwards at the time he wasn't able to answer any of my questions at the time just due to the nature of his injuries.
What do you mean he wasn't able to answer your questions?
He either didn't know, he either kept saying he didn't know what had happened, or he was continually it seemed like he kept losing consciousness on me from the blood loss.
Meaning he was just not responsive medically, not that he wasn't answering.
He would go in and out, and when he would regain consciousness, when I would ask the questions, he either didn't know, or he would just say, "I was sitting in the car when it happened." I think he asked a couple of times. What the status of Mr. Jones was as well. But just due to his injuries, I wasn't able to conduct a full interview with him just in his state.
You did, though, inquire of them who did this, and they just are reiterating, "I don't know."
Correct.
Did you have a role there after? So if EMS arrives, what do they do with their patient?
EMS eventually came. They transported both Mr. Norris and Mr. Edwards to Tampa General Hospital. After conferring with Sergeant Portman outside, once they had been transported, I relocated to Tampa General Hospital to attempt to speak with them further.
Was it your obligation to attempt a formal interview with Mr. Norris and Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Did you make additional observations upon your arrival at the hospital of their injuries?
Yes. Mr. Norris did in fact sustain one gunshot wound to the right shoulder, and Mr. Edwards, if I remember correctly, he had been shot 3 times in the upper arm, just below the armpit, and an additional 3 times on the right shoulder. And the staff at TGH had informed me that his upper right arm had been broken as a result.
Were you able to successfully obtain a statement about the events of the evening leading up to the shooting from Mr. Norris?
Yes. Essentially, what Mr. Norris told me was they had gone to the home suite to attempt to get a room after they had been kicked out of their Airbnb earlier that day. And he was sleeping in the back of the Charger where we found Mr. Jones at. And they were parked at the Sally Port on the south end of the home suite when the shooting originally happened. He was asleep in the back, so he essentially woke up when he heard gunfire and really didn't see anything prior to. As far as any possible suspects, he still couldn't give me any answers to that question.
Did you inquire as to why they were in Tampa to begin with?
It was to celebrate Mr. Jones's birthday.
Is that information that Mr. Norris also gave you?
Yes.
Did Mr. Norris give you the locations of the two places that they had reported to for the birthday celebrations?
That day they had gone to Teasers. It's a strip club located on Nebraska Avenue, and they had also gone to Truth 18. It was a bar that was located on Bush Boulevard, just next to the intersection with 50th.
And that was information that Mr. Norris also relayed?
Correct.
Same question for Mr. Edwards. Did you have an opportunity to interview him at the hospital?
Yes.
And again, did he indicate that they were there for a birthday celebration?
Correct.
Did he also provide to you the information about the clubs that they had visited?
He confirmed teasers, and he did say that they had gone to another bar, but he couldn't give me the name of it.
Were they able to provide both in their interviews rough time estimates or time frames?
I believe both of them had stated that they were they'd gone to Truth 18 about 3 o'clock, and they had been at Teasers since about 1 o'clock till about 3 o'clock.
Neither were able to tell you or identify the persons that shot at them, only that they were shot at and that they ran from the vehicle.
Correct.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Cross?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Other than the two victims from the picture we saw earlier, Gino Norris and Mr. Edwards, did you speak to any other victims or witnesses?
No, my contact was just with Mr. Norris and Mr. Edwards during this investigation.
Okay. And they had no idea as to who might have done this?
That's correct.
All right, so they don't know Alicia Andrews?
They never mentioned anybody's name, but at least Miss Andrews. They never mentioned her.
All right. And you also don't know who Miss Andrews is?
No, sir.
All right. Other than, I guess, seeing them there at the hotel, did you do anything else in this case, seeing the two victims?
It was pretty much it was just my response to the hotel and then my follow-up interview with them at TGH. That was the extent of my involvement in this.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, may this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
So they basically talk about how somebody, like, they heard a crap ton of shooting. Julio Foolio wasn't going to make it out of there. I ain't going to hold you. I'm not trying to sound like, oh, this is crazy. Like, nah, but Buddy wasn't going to make it out of that damn thing alive. I'm more surprised, based off what they was saying, I'm more surprised that the other two dudes lived. And if y'all ever try to, because those guys set them up. Let me ask anybody who's still on his homeboy set him up route, because I've seen it a couple of times. Let me ask y'all this, and I'm just going to be honest. Would you do it? Let's say I gave you $1 million freaking dollars. $1 million, right? And we agree. I pay you $1 million. You set your homeboy up. That's going to be that, right? And in your mind, I'm assuming you're going to say, yeah, Nash, I got to make it convincing so that the police don't pull me over and basically say and question me like I had something to do with it. True. But don't you think you would ask these questions? Hey, bro, what kind of guns you guys using? And then I'm going to basically say, I'm going to probably use the AR-15. AR-15? Yeah. I'm going to use the AR-15. The homeboy got an AR-15. And then the homie over there, he got a switch. Do you think for $1 million, if you were going to set this up, you would be in the car? Wouldn't it be more likely that you would basically pull up to a spot like how we were at the Holiday Inn and go, dang, bro, hold on, man. We've been driving for a minute. I gotta go take a leak. I'm from California, so instead of saying take a piss, we say, you gotta take a leak. All right. So boom, you go there and you hop out the car and your homeboy get shot the hell up. Don't you think that would make a lot more sense than you driving towards somebody with a firing gun? It mind boggles the hell out of me. But I digress. You have that. You have somebody that called and basically they didn't really think nothing of it. They find out that somebody's car had a bullet hole in it. So they come through there, take the pictures. And then the jury sees the freaking bullet holes all in the car and all this stuff. And basically what they're painting is that this was a very, very violent crime. To me, psychologically, what they're doing is they're making sure that when you leave to that damn jury room to deliberate, that they leave with the intent and with the wherewithal and with the knowledge of, we had to make sure that she goes to jail for the rest of her life because she helped plan one of the most vicious attacks you have ever heard of in your life, and it happened in your backyard. We need to stop individuals like this. So far, we really ain't seen nothing. The grandma of her boyfriend, I can't think of Buddy's name right now, Gutter or whatever the hell his name is. Yeah. Basically, she says when he came and he cleaned out the car because they always leave stuff in there. He got a Jamaican or a Haitian grandmother. So his Haitian grandmother, she said, yo, clean the damn car before you go out of here. So, I know my Haitian accent on point, ain't it? But basically, the grandma say the reason he cleaned the car is because they always leave trash in my stuff. I'm making sure that before he leave up out of there, that he clean that up. So they made it seem like the police and the investigators made it seem like, oh yeah, he cleaned the car because he was trying to get rid of bullet fragments and all this shit. I don't know. Hell if I know. I'm assuming GSR. One would assume GSR. So she basically say, nah, I told him to do that. And then two, how they try to say, oh, Buddy was transporting firearms and all this stuff in those bags. The grandma say, no, I held those bags. Bags wasn't heavy. He had none of that in there. I never known him to have a gun. I never known him to shoot a gun or anything like that. Why is that important? Because what that actually does is it helps the girl out to say, I never even seen a damn gun. Or I never seen the gun after that BS happened, meaning he could have got rid of it before he ever got to her. Just saying. So all in all, this is nothing but let me get you emotionally charged up and then see what the hell y'all do as far as the jury. I don't think that they have proven their case yet. Now, tomorrow could be something more interesting. We're really waiting for the investigator who interrogated her because I'm going to assume that's going to take the majority of the day. So there's that. Other than that, bruh, I'm going to be honest. I ain't seeing nothing. Just not. But hey, y'all, let me know y'all thoughts on this one. If you made it this far, hit that like button like you like some. Win one of these for free. Y'all can, like, please do not be a Debbie Downer. The more you comment, the more you like the videos, the faster we get the subscribers, and we'll be giving this away. You can win. Don't be one of those people, man, Nash, bro, I don't know if I can win. Yeah, you can. What's your name keeps on popping up as one of the commenters? We only have 200 people that are qualified anyways. 200. That's it. It could be you today. So, yeah, comment your thoughts on this one. It's not too late to join. You can still go back to other videos and be like, bro, you said I can win. You know what I mean? But other than that, click right here. Let me make sure I got that video. And see how these morons in the NBA, coaches, current player, ex-coaches turn, ex-players turn coaches, how they got caught up for not that much money. It's really about the mafia. But click right here to watch that video right now, or click right here to get through a long day, because apparently I'm helping people get through 12-hour shifts. I'll catch y'all in the next one.